Hello, willkommen to the trainer closet where trainer secrets are revealed and tested. Individual results may vary depending upon genome and microbiome, or whatever else you do. Here now is Mike and the rest. One thing I wanted to come up or throw out there is basically that I was very surprised that we had 2 full episodes on relaxation, and we are a trainer's closet, which supposedly is all about activity. What do you think about that?
I think there's a method to our madness. I think we touched on the most important part of an exercise program, and that is recovery. Because as I've said before...
Did you see it again? Yeah. Go ahead. Do it again.
You earn your paychecks in the gym, but you cash your paychecks while you're sleeping. And what I mean by that is your adaptations happen during the recovery period. So that makes the recovery period the most important part of the exercise program.
That's correct. And your human growth hormone and all these things are highest while you sleep. So, as you said, recovery takes place while we sleep.
Who wants a stack of paychecks and no cash?
You don't.
Not me.
Not him. Me neither. I did not bring that up. So what do you want to talk about this week after we reminiscent about last week?
I want to talk about the braced neutral spine and core engagement for exercise. But before we get there, I have a question for you. What was the most ridiculous thing you saw in the gym this week?
I would have to say it probably was the choice of clothing that I sometimes see in this gym, or the colors or thereof, and the combinations and all that stuff. That was kind of the most ridiculous. I mean, I could go into certain exercise that I saw that I was like, whoa, what's going on here? But I have stopped questioning that so much. And yeah.
Sometimes I wonder when I see people's outfits, does this person have no friends whatsoever to tell them that that was a bad outfit selection? But then you got to remember different strokes for different folks. And we do live in New York City, and there's a lot of different walks of life here. So,
and that basically means that you can show up any way you want, and somebody somewhere around understands you in that direction.
True.
All right, Mike.
Let's get to business.
Yes.
So this week I want to talk about braced neutral spine and core engagement while exercising. So there's a lot of different perspectives in the field. My perspective is you have to master the neutral position and master the bracing in the neutral position through core engagement so that you generate as stable bracing mechanism around your most important body part, your spine, as possible. So another metaphor for you, if you're ready for it.
I love it.
If your body was a tree, your branches can only be as strong as your trunk. And so these branches, your arms, these branches, your legs, rotate around your trunk. The stronger you have your trunk, the more opposition you can create, the more foundation you have, and the stronger and more effective the rest of your movement will be.
So I think what Mike is kind of referring to, and I will demonstrate this really quick too, is basically your body is completely and fully of levers. So in order for a lever to work, one part has to be stiff or stiffened. In order, like again, if I were to try to produce force with the arm, if this body moves away, I cannot produce as much form, or the output would be not as much. And so, like again, it's always a good idea to have a good solid fulcrum to which you want to rotate around. Fulcrum is basically what we call the anchor point in a lever system. So
agreed.
Yes, and the part that I also want to point out that there is a bracing necessity for it, because we have been giving the spine movable so that we can move. And we become the people then to basically decide at what time do I have to brace it, lock it down, and in which time I have to let it move. It's kind of the best thing about how I describe it is like building up awareness. One, I want to move which part of my body in order to hold on to the other, or
And you may say, where is neutral? Well, neutral is different for everybody. So your braced neutral is different from somebody else's braced neutral. And as trainers, we determine where people's braced neutrals is by getting them into flexion, getting them into extension, and then getting them into the middle. So the middle of those two would be neutral.
The last thing I want to say is that, of course, there are people who are flexion intolerant or extension intolerant, again, you know what to do. The opposite, right? So again, with our limitations, we have to play around, and that's again where a good trainer comes in and helps you find that neutral spine position.
Absolutely. And it has a lot to do with breathing, and that's a whole other category that we're going to talk about, but the muscles of your diaphragm are used to support your spine. So with proper breathing, that comes into play as well. So I wanted to touch on that, but that's too big of a topic for me to get too deep into right now. So let's leave it at that.
Signing off.
Thanks for listening. Leave us some comments.
And if you have any questions or topic that you want us to talk about,
Let us know.
all right.